choice, but then there's not actually really choice. So the general idea is the room is split into 3 segments divided by these lines. So like this is one segment, that's a segment over there, that's another segment. And there's going to be blood from the ground slowly moving out from the like pillar on the wall. And if it hits an egg, it like immediately spawns them and enrages them and gets a huge buff. So you have to break the eggs before the blood gets there to spawn the ads yourself, but they're weaker if you spawn them, and deal with the ads. There's 3 types of ads. These ones are tiny ones that fixate. If they reach their target, they will duplicate themselves. These ones you cannot move. They're a caster. They just sit there and cast. And these ones are a big tank ad. So there's 3 different types of ads. Each section has one of the main types has like a bunch of them. So this section has 6 big tank ads and 3 of both of the other things. This section has 6 fixate guys. The other section over there has 6 caster guys. And you can start in any section. So you can kind of choose like at what point of the fight you want to deal with certain stuff. Like maybe if the casters really suck, you might want to start the fight there with lust and just like burn up as many casters as you can or something like that. So that's one choice that you do get. You get to kind of play the fight how you want. You can go to whichever section after the other, but you have to do an entire section first. The other...
You're still limited as far as what you can spawn because you still got to get it before the circle gets
so it. That's what I was about to say. The other like choice is like, oh, you can break whatever eggs you want within your section, but you can't really because you are forced to break the closest eggs to the blood like every single time.
Like the only real choice you have is like, what do you spawn first?
Yeah, so you can choose to like spawn the 4 that are on the left side or spawn the 4 that are on the right side, but you have to spawn the closest ones to the pillar or else they're going to get hit by the blood. And on Mythic, it's like an instant wipe if they get hit by the blood. So you don't really have a choice of what ads you're spawning first within your section. You just have a choice of like what section you start at. But that's the gist.
Yeah, spawn, is it like a small amount of ads or just like a lot?
That sounds straightforward.
Each egg is 1 ad except for the fixate ones. They're like 6 or something like that. They spawn like a lot of them. And you get 4 debuffs at a time. So you break 4 eggs.
Mythic, you need how many debuffs got? Because I think you need 2 to break 1 egg.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna last. We'll see. So on heroic, 4 people get a debuff. Those 4 people have to go stand on an egg. Once the debuff goes off, it breaks the egg. On mythic, supposedly it takes 2 debuffs to break an egg, so you get 8 debuffs, and then you have to coordinate 8 people in pairs to 4 eggs with currently a private aura. So that's gonna be fucking miserable. But we'll see. I'm not going to talk about that because we haven't tested it and we don't know how it's going to be yet. But yeah, so basically our strategy was pull the boss in between like a set of 4 and break those 4 and ones that are close to the thing. And then once we do these 4, we move over here, we do those 4. And then the last 4 are like spread out on the arc over here. So they're really hard to stack up, which is unfortunate, but really like that's what you have to do. You have to break one side of 4, the other side of 4, and then you get the back ones because you don't have a choice because the blood is growing. But yeah, this is a debuff that goes on the player. It slows them by a lot. When they get dispelled, it will like root anybody in the circle. And people were like accidentally dispelling themselves in the middle of the raid, which was kind of annoying. So don't do that. He drops random rain of arrows stuff. That's usual, just dodge. And eventually we will get to the debuff. Okay, there's the debuffs. Experimental dosage. So people with the red things with the purple circle. So there's 4 people. I don't know where the 4th one is, but there's 1, 2, 3 right now. These people have to go stand on an egg. Also, like in heroic, how it currently was, you really can't miss an egg. If you miss an egg after the section is filled, the boss does like an AoE thing and it does massive damage to you if there's any eggs left up. So all 4 people always have to break an egg. Nobody can double break. Like right now we might be screwed because both these people are on this egg. So we broke 3 eggs. We have a tank, we have a caster worm, and we have, yeah, it's 6 parasites that will all fixate a random target. And you kind of just kill ads. That's pretty much it. The caster has 1 cast that's interruptible, and then his just regular cast isn't, so he'll just spam his regular cast, and then every once in a while do his interruptible cast. You could really interrupt it with just like 1 melee.
Good.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
this thing seems fun. I like the movement of it.
So the blood is about to hit this fixate ad, and we're just kind of giving up on it because we're not even going to get debuffs before we can break this one again. So it's going to spawn enraged fixate ads. Boom, there you go. So they have like twice the amount of health and they move twice as fast. That's the fixate ads enrage. And we get new debuffs. And I have one. And we got to break things. Interestingly enough, I see that we don't have arrows on our head for this set of debuffs. I don't know why. And again, I think we only broke 3 eggs. So then you can see, like, if we had gotten all of these eggs properly, the last eggs in the room in our segment would be these ones up here. So we accidentally got this one instead of this one, but it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, like super spread out. And at least for how it currently is on Heroic, that's exactly how you have to do it. And that's how all of the segments are going to end, because otherwise the blood is going to hit the eggs. So the like main important mechanic of this fight is just making sure you break eggs, the right eggs, and never missing one. For the most part, the ads weren't really too difficult to deal with. The little guys are actually like pretty priority, because if they reach any of their targets, they start duplicating and they get out of hand pretty quick. So like gripping them in and stunning them and just nuking them down immediately is really effective and useful. We do end up getting these 4, so that's good.
Maybe it puts those arrows if you are not one of the people chosen for the mechanic.
Maybe.
That's the only time it didn't do it.
Yeah.
When you had it.
Smallish areas.
But yeah, so we have like a ton of small ads running around right now. We don't really have them grouped. And we have 1 caster up in the back.
I mean, if they dupe when they hit you, the ring of peace is probably broken. Just stand under the boss with a rock.
Uh-huh.
Vortex ring of peace.
Yep, binding shot. So yeah, and that's the fight. Then you move into a new section. The boss is going to run to the like closest pillar when he starts doing this cast. So you just bring him to near wherever the section you want to go to next, and he runs to it. And you see how many parasites we still have
It's
up.
supposed to be like a mini Gahoon or some shit.
I don't know. Yes. So this is the section with the 6 caster ads.
That's what I was thinking.
So the medium eggs. This section kind of sucks. 6 caster ads is really annoying because you can't move them, and they're all very far apart. So there's just like no good way to cleave them down.
Just like prototype Pantheon, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, the only other things you're doing is like dodging circles on the ground and getting out when you have the dispellable debuff so you don't root everybody. That's it. You just have to break eggs.